Hi everyone, I'm Cerise.
I'm Joe.
And today we are excuse me. Today we are asking the question of what is forgiveness? What is real forgiveness? What does it mean to really and truly forgive someone else or yourself? So all of us know that experience of having someone do something that hurts us. Sometimes it's a betrayal of trust. Sometimes it's something cruel that they said or did. And sometimes it's a kitten walking around on your lap, meowing at you.
Even though they know full well you're doing a video.
They know you're busy. They don't care. Look at that. They don't care. Not even a little bit. So when you're in that situation, you've got two options. You either forgive the person, carry on with your lives, and try to recreate a relationship that's somewhat where it was before this event. Or you walk away, you never look at them again, you never talk to them again. You hold on to this experience of anger, you don't ever want to deal with any of it, and you just continue to hate them for all time. So obviously the healthier option is forgiveness, even if you do still make the choice not to have someone in your life. Maybe it is someone who is a destructive influence on your life and you choose to cut ties with them. But forgiving them, regardless of the context, sets you free. Now we're going to delve into what it actually means practically to forgive someone.
One quick example I also want to bring up is there's also kind of like a third way where you have someone in your life and you kind of go through the motions of forgiving them, but still there is those things that continue to come up and continue to come up, and you just keep burying it and burying it, and it's like no, but I forgave them, and inside of you, there's this like kind of resistance towards them still. There's still, you just aren't comfortable around them, even though you say that you forgive yourself and this person. So that's also an indication of where the forgiveness isn't actually real, that it's just been words, it's just been a nice idea. But the fact remains that the forgiveness is not in fact real.
So that gives us a clue that forgiveness is not about just saying that you forgive. It's about actually living the forgiveness. And a lot of the time when we're dealing with something to do with someone else and having to forgive someone else, what happens is that we get a lot of thoughts about them. They'll do something that reminds us of whatever it was that they did before, and it brings up the anger again. Or little things now suddenly start irritating the crap out of you that they are doing, and you know it's deliberate. Okay, wait, no, it's not actually deliberate. So that it's like that holding on to the past. How do we actually let go of that? How do we actually change those resentments, those little angers that are stemming from that one event?
Yeah, one thing that just came up for me when I was looking at this point is, how do you define forgiveness? Because oftentimes we may have this definition of, well, forgiving someone means you being okay with what happened and moving on. So it's kind of like, it's still got this definition of coping with it, making it okay, getting past it, water under the bridge. But it's still there. It hasn't been released. You haven't released yourself. Most importantly, you haven't actually changed the relationship you had to the event that happened, to the memories that still come up, to the emotions that are still attached. It doesn't work to forgive someone and just go with the definition of, I forgive them, it's fine. What they did, our history, all the bad stuff, it's fine. I can let it go. I can just suppress it and keep it down and let it fester inside of me, and eventually come out again in a more nasty way. Yeah, that's fine, I can forgive. That's not forgiveness. Because in real forgiveness, that wouldn't happen. that would not be recurring inside of you. So something to look at is, again, don't judge yourself now if you've forgiven someone and you still find things coming up. That's part of the process of forgiving. It's about getting to that point of, yes, I forgive this person, and understanding that sometimes there is a process where layers of memories come up and things that were suppressed come up within you. And it's in those moments where you have to live the forgiveness again. It's a process. It is a decision made over and over until it's real.
For me, what I found is that, now this is with self-forgiveness as well as forgiving another, is that I have to be willing to forgive. If I say that I forgive, but that willingness is not there 100%, then what I find happens is that the little thoughts will come up, the little memories will trigger, and instead of letting it go in the moment, what I'll tend to do is I will latch onto it and go with it. And it turns into this entire mess of emotional energy because of that starting point of willingness to forgive not being solid, not being 100% there, the foundation of my forgiveness. So that's what I found, that it can be kind of tricky because often we don't want to believe that we're kind of unwilling to forgive. So it's like you have to really be honest with yourself and really look at, okay, am I standing within this willingness to forgive 100%?
Yeah.
And from that you live the forgiveness of letting go of the thoughts and the memories and adjusting your behavior and things like that.
One key thing here is, I think a part of what makes it so difficult is it also requires that you stop blaming, stop making the other person responsible in any way for how you're experiencing it. Even if you have all kinds of justifications of, look, but they really did do this, they really did say these words, and they really were like this to me. It's still you that you are still dealing with. It's not about the other person. So as long as you're saying you forgive the other person for what happened, but you're still having these things come up, then you haven't really forgiven. And a part of you is still blaming them, which means a part of you is not being self-honest with your role, with your responsibility, with your part in creating what happened. So as long as that's existing, your forgiveness can't be real.
Basically, once the event is over, what you're dealing with is your reactions to the event. The event is now in the past. It's now up to you to deal with the thoughts that are coming up within you, in your mind, the emotions that are coming up within your body, the way that your behavior has changed. So it's a question of how much has the event changed who you are in thought, word, and deed. And if you are changed in any way, then you know that, okay, either you've learned from it and you've grown and you've deliberately changed, or it's things that are coming from emotional reactions still, from things that you have not yet forgiven. All right, anything else that you want to add?
No, that's it. So have a look at that and consider the next time you forgive someone whether that forgiveness is real. And if not, you know what to do. Watch this video until you get it.
Thanks for watching, everyone.